Welcome back, everyone, to Not Your Advisor with NYU Grad on Tuesday, April 23rd. A lot of earnings news, just a lot of news in general. So let's start and look at the session today, shall we? So I want to get the latest information because I started these notes earlier. I had to log off around 3:30. But looking at breadth, we had 143 new highs and 112 new lows. So the consecutive days of new lows winning has been broken finally, not by much. We're talking about like 30, um, 30 more new highs than new lows. Again, I want to repeat, we had 143 new highs and 112 new lows for the session. 77% of stocks were advancing, 19% were declining, and we have 63% of stocks below its 50-day moving average. A big improvement from yesterday. As you recall, on Friday, we had like 75% of stocks below the 50-day. On Monday, we had about 70% of stocks below the 50-day. And today, we have 63% of stocks below the 50-day. So this should paint the picture before you even look at what is under the hood, right? Like, you know there is a bounce going on to the 50-day moving average. Looking at the 200-day moving average, you have 39% below the 200. So not really much of a change there. You had the Dow up 263 points, up 0.69%. The NASDAQ up 245 points, up 1.6%. And the S&P up 60 points, or 1.2%. Looking at all the sectors, pretty much everything was green except for basic materials. But you had technology leading to the upside, almost 2%. Communication services up 1.64%. Healthcare 1.44%. Industrials up 1.42%. Consumer cyclical up 1.35%. Real estate up 1%. So you had a ton of sectors and equities on the rise and on the move today. Breadth was strong all day. Intraday breadth was strong pretty much all day. So for me, I didn't really make any trades. I just sat and watched curated lists of bullish lists and short lists. I just kind of watched the action across different sectors, looking at what was like really strong in mega cap land. You had Tesla was only up 1.8%, and they reported earnings after hours. I'll cover that in a second. Amazon was up 1.29%. Meta was up 2.92%. Google up 1.25%. Apple up 0.6%. Microsoft up 1.5%. Nvidia up 3.6%. All of the semiconductor group participated in this rally except for Intel, which I thought was weird. Intel was down 0.41%. Many of the financial names continuing their bounce slash rally. You had, I believe, Visa reported up 0.66%. JP Morgan is up 1.4%. American Express up 2.56%. MasterCard up 1.3%. PayPal up 2%. Bank of America up 1.7%. And again, it's weird. Maybe people are just taking profits, but Wells Fargo, which was a very strong name in financials, is down marginally, down 2.6%. You had healthcare in the green. So pretty much everything other than healthcare providers like UNH, which was down 1%, and CVS was down 1.6%. Everything in healthcare was up as well. So very broad rally across the board. I did want to cover something real quick. I know today is Tesla reports, but I want to cover Apple. And I'll post a chart in the free section of the show notes. But Apple, I think, is in a lot of trouble here. And I bulleted some of the concerns here. They noted through the Counterpoint Research firm that Apple saw sales in China of iPhone fall 19% in the first 3 months of the year. And this is while Huawei, the Chinese phone maker, surged 69% in smartphone sales in China in that same time period. Recently, Goldman removed Apple from its conviction list. Evercore dropped from its tactical outperform list. And I've taken the Apple Vision Pro demo. I thought it was cool, but not $3,000 cool. And I believe they're having some trouble selling these. An analyst, Ming-Chi Kuo, out of China, has, and she's followed, she's not just some rando, she is reporting that the shipments for Vision Pro units have been cut almost in half by Apple. They were expecting to ship 700 to 800,000 units. They're cutting that to 400 to 450,000 units shipped to Apple. So that's a big cut. Where is their growth going to come from, right? Like, is it going to be the iPhone 16 that comes out later this year with loaded AI functionality? I don't know. I really don't. Because if you take a look at Samsung and their new phone, or Google Pixel and their new phone that has tons of AI features loaded onto it that the iPhone 15 doesn't, you'll have to see if it's been gangbuster sales for Google Pixel and Samsung. I don't know. But I haven't upgraded yet. So I think Apple, they don't report till May 2nd after the close, which is a week away. I think they're in trouble. I think the best case scenario for Apple is that they will bounce on some type of news of AI up to the 50-day moving average above, at best the 200-day. I'd be shocked if Apple can get to the 200-day. And then I think we're going to sell off. So that's something to watch on Apple. So let's keep peeling the onion here. What stuck out? So Tesla reported already. I think they beat on expectations. But the fact is, the price is lower than the previous earnings. I'll post in the show notes for premium members how Tesla is doing since the previous earnings released. We at the previous one, we closed at like 208, and then the conference call happened and we sunk, and then we bounced to 200, and then we sold off, and now we're like at 155 after hours right now. So we're lower than the previous earnings call. So we're bouncing now. The call starts like in another hour. It's 4:30 Eastern when I'm recording this. We'll see what happens tomorrow at the open. I suspect that Tesla will potentially bounce here to like 170-ish or a moving average above, and then roll over. So what was strong? This is a long list, so bear with me. I need to hydrate here. So it's a longer list. These are all percents, okay? You had Spotify that reported great earnings. They missed on the monthly active user numbers, but they beat, and they actually became a profitable company, which is a big deal. They were up 11.41% today. Marathon Digital up 10.77, Sweetgreen 9.5, K Hovnanian Home Builder up 8.1, MongoDB up 7.6, ACMR Research up 6.3, SMCI up 6.25, Carvana up 5.85, Wayfair 5.52, Roku 5.41, Toll Brothers 5.02, Shopify 4.9, Beazer Homes 4.85, Coinbase 4.67, KB Homes 4.6, Pulte Homes 4.5. They reported good expected numbers this morning as well. Home Builder, Boyle 4.5, Dell 4.4, GM 4.37. They reported earnings this morning. PANW Palo Alto Networks up 4.25, Netflix 4.1, Zillow 4.02, TriPoint Homes 3.94, Roblox 3.83, Nvidia 3.65, Zoom Communication Video Conferencing 3.55, Ferrari 3.53, AI 3.52, DR Horton 3.47, Zscaler 3.47, ASML Holdings 3.39, Extreme Networks 3.36, Palantir 3.2, ARM Holdings 3.1, Lennar 3.06, ARC 2.98, Bitfarms 2.93, Meta 2.92, Etsy 2.86, Rivian 2.84, Airbnb 2.77, ITB ETF for homebuilders 2.75, XHB 2.67, CarMax 2.67, UNG 2.66, Kava 2.65, Uber 2.64, PaySafe 2.49, AMD 2.42. I can't keep going, but it was a pretty good rally, above 2%. There's a lot of names. So definitely a quality strong bounce today. Free members, continue watching yields. We are still above 4.5%. This cannot last forever. Yields staying above 4.5 and stocks going up higher. So let's see which one is lying. Keep watching tech layoffs and just layoffs in general, credit card delinquency rates, and you do have a ton of earnings coming out on Wednesday. Meta reports after hours, Chipotle after hours, Lam Research after hours, IBM after hours, and then you have on Thursday Microsoft, Google, Intel, Snap, Capital One, all after hours Thursday. Friday you have a few Dow names that are important reporting, like AbbVie, ExxonMobil, Colgate, all reporting before the open on Friday. I will see you all after the Wednesday session. For premium members, please stay on.